Something I wanted to talk about was, I don't know if Aaron is still around from Greymass, but they published their monthly update. And I know I was personally very happy to see that a bug with the Ledger Nanos was fixed, where there was an error with Ledger Nano connecting with Anchor where you couldn't change your keys. And I know I had some issues with that lately, and so that's been fixed. So that was a great relief to me. I can update some keys on a few accounts that I've been meaning to update. And I don't know, Aaron, if you're around, if you want to maybe share a few more of the highlights from your update, we could do that at this time.
Yeah, sure. That was probably one of the most long-standing and big things in the way. We've been going back and forth with the Ledger team for a while now. Something they updated ended up breaking that process where you couldn't change your keys to be no longer on the ledger. So people were stuck there, myself and a number of people on our team included. So we went back and forth with them a decent amount over the months. It wasn't their highest priority because none of us honestly knew exactly what broke. But after working on some test cases and whatnot, they did manage to isolate it, and they released some new firmware, and we didn't have to do anything, so that was great. And the ledger is now just fully functional again like it once was. So kudos to the Ledger team for getting that resolved and making it easy for our community just to have it working again. The rest of the update was largely focused on the maintenance we're doing around Anchor and Unicove and the new features we're adding to those things, the progress we've made on them since our last update, which was about a month ago. And then we rounded it out with just messages about our slow recruiting push. We're working to grow the team. We've been slowly growing. We're up to 10 people now. We'd be a little higher, but we've had some people join and then leave, which is understandable. But yeah, we are really trying to grow so we can scale our operations and push out updates like this more often. Not necessarily the text itself, but the actual updates to the products. There's a lot to do. I haven't touched code in a couple weeks at this point, I don't think, besides maybe just answering questions. And it's all been planning out like what the future looks like for all of these products and improving the usability of EOSIO as a whole. We still have a long way to go. We get a lot of support tickets where people are really frustrated with how complicated things are at times. And it's going to be a long and incremental road to improve that kind of stuff and really make this experience for users who want to use the blockchain or just applications that leverage the blockchain that much easier. So we're excited about where things are heading, and we're going to try to make it more of a monthly cadence on these updates at this point. I know we've been a little loose on that before, where we'd skip a month or two and we'd go dark, but we're ramping things up and going to be providing these updates and hopefully better formats, maybe a new website, and try to do what a lot of you guys on this call do and communicate very well. If there's always one thing that's a meme around Greymass, is that we have no marketing and our communication has not been good. So we've taken steps to correct that, and we have some good people in position to help us do that. And it's good to know that the time I do spend like actually being a part of the community does help with that communication. It's so instantaneous of a form of communication. Like, you got to be around to experience that. We've had feedback on Unicove, which is the web wallet you're talking about, how simple it is right now. You go to Blocks or EOS Authority or any of these other tools, and they just lay it on you thick, and there's everything you could ever want to do on there. But it comes at a cost of kind of confusion. And we have spent, there was probably a 6-month stretch where we worked on that web wallet exclusively on that one feature being token transfers, trying to just nail it. And we're probably not even halfway done with what we'd like to do with that. But it's awesome to hear that flow is just that simple and easy, because that's really the direction we want to go with this. At some point, like, our dream is to add in a contact system in there. So that way, instead of even typing account names, you just have accounts to select from for who you want to pay from, and you can establish your own network of contacts. We want to do the same thing with some of the other EOSIO features that you might want to use as just a normal user using it in day-to-day activities. And really just drive that this is an application that if you used online banking, you're going to be familiar with. And it removes all of that complexity that you might experience elsewhere. Like, we have the power user tools, and now we need like the normal user tools. And that's the goal. And to be able to launch it seamlessly from within Anchor Like eventually we want that to be a thing for any application. So you just have that experience. You have that launch point. You're in an application, you're automatically logged in, and you're just doing the thing that you want to do, and the technology is getting out of your way. So that's the vision. That's where we're heading, and just building all that tech along the way. And we'd like to eventually get to the point where you can do that to buy tokens and or network resources. Like, I think one of our long-term visions for EOS and EOSIO as a whole is that there should be able to be applications on these blockchains that don't use the token and don't require the user to use the token. Imagine a game that just wants to use the blockchain and distribute NFTs and do cool things like that. Anchor, the way we've set it up, and Unicove, in the way that we're trying to make the onboarding, we want to make that a reality. So that way it's less scary for new people who've never even experienced crypto. It's like they're used to microtransactions at this point. The app stores of the world have made everybody used to that. So if we can lure people into the ecosystem that way with something they're familiar with, then they can optionally decide if they want to get into the crazy world of tokens. But yeah, let's make it accessible. Let's make it so it's something people are familiar with, but still leverages this awesome technology that we're all here for.